Bug Fables The Everlasting Sapling has so many memorable moments throughout its story that if a main story was all we got, it would be difficult to complain. And as it stands, I can't complain at all because in addition to 7 chapters of really quality storytelling, Bug Fables also has plenty of side quests to keep you occupied. Now, admittedly, most of these are relatively simple, such as delivering a package from one part of the world to the other, or cooking an item someone has requested, but sometimes these missions can be as memorable as any moment in the main quest, and today I want to count down my top 5 Bug Fables side quests. Number 5, In Search of Something. In Search of Something was actually one of the final side quests I completed in my initial playthrough of the game, because it's tucked away across a river you initially cannot cross, and it's not actually a task that shows up on the quest board, so it's something that I feel like a lot of players can actually potentially miss, which is a shame, because you meet a hermit named Elam who's holed himself up in this cave near the Golden Tunnel, and when you talk to him, he seems kind of dejected and lost and not quite really sure of what he's looking for in life, but he asks you for your help regardless, and Kabu, Leaf, and V take the quest despite the vagueness of his request, and eventually find this other bug named Texi outside of the Goddess Venus's room in the Golden Hills. And when you tell her about Elam, Texi actually asks to be brought to the cave, and Team Snakemouth actually does bring her along, and the two bugs meet, and to his surprise, Elam actually finds that she's what he was looking for. He's seemingly injected with all this optimism after hearing Texi speak, and he raises up and he tells her he'd like her to stay in the cave with him, and the two proceed to spend the rest of their time alone in the cave together, and V actually jokes about if the team had just played matchmakers. But to me, this mission stands out as a small but memorable moment that really helps to show the quality of Bug Fables' writing. It's unique, and it doesn't really focus on rewards or selfish intent for any of the Team Snakemouth members, but instead it's just this pure good deed to assist someone who needs help. And it's actually one of the only missions that I can think of where V doesn't even really want a reward or mention a reward in that matter. In a game that focuses on looking within and dealing with your past to move on, I just feel this mission feels right at home, and for that reason, it's number 5 on my list of Bug Fables' best side quests. Number 4, Explorer Check. Explorer Check is a mission about uncovering 2 criminals, Sen and PC, who are posing as an exploration team, and another team, Jen and Erie, request your help as they aren't quite sure how to handle this suspicious situation, so it becomes Team Snakemouth's job to save Amber, the item keeper, from being harassed by the fakers. Now, after quickly exposing the fake team for what they are, a fight ensues, but before Team Snakemouth can achieve victory, the imposters flee the scene, and this gives you a chance to heal up if need be before you chase after them for round 2. A short ways away in the outskirts, you find Sen and PC cornered by Jen and Erie, and the fighting resumes, resulting in you finally defeating them and putting them behind bars for good. This mission stands out to me due to the unique story of the imposter team. It totally makes sense that certain bugs would fail Maki's test to become an explorer, and in true Anakin Skywalker fashion, take matters into their own hands as they turn to the dark side. I love that you get 2 fights in one mission, and it's great to see them locked up later when you storm the rubber prison. My only gripe with this mission is that, like many side quests, your reward is a lore book, whereas I felt you should have gotten something a little more gratifying after defeating a fairly tough mini-boss. Number 3, Requesting Assistance. Levi and Celia are 2 other bugs on another exploration team that need help tracking down a powerful criminal named Monsieur Scarlet. The problem is Monsieur Scarlet will only show himself to those who have accepted his request for help, and Levi and Celia alone are not strong enough to defeat him. With Team Snakemouth's help, they accept his fake request for help and travel to the abandoned Golden Tunnel. Once there, as predicted, Monsieur Scarlet attacked and quickly dispatched of Levi and Celia before ultimately being thwarted by Team Snakemouth in a tough, tight fight. Of all the mini-bosses in the game, not one was better than Monsieur Scarlet. From his cool, unique design to the challenge he provided for how early in the game you're able to fight him, he really stands out as a boss I would have liked to see more of. His healing ability is only bested by his ability to say badass things such as when he said, "You have no idea what I've faced before. Come and try me. I'll suck your life energy to the husk." Even without Monsieur Scarlet being so memorable, I think the concept of the mission is clever, and it's always enjoyable to see the various exploration teams working together. Number 2, Confidential. The combat in Bug Fables is a big part of what makes it so fun. With a variety of medals and the turn relay system, it feels like there are so many different builds to try out that keep the action engaging. My favorite side quests tend to be ones that have some combat, whether it be a mini-boss or just a few waves of enemies, just because I like to have a little bit of a challenge. That's why for me, the mission where you help Maki help Yin transform has to be one of my favorites. While perhaps not that difficult if you are prepared for it, the fight you have against the various leaf bug creatures caught me off guard the first time I was playing through, and I survived by the skin of my teeth. It's a unique fight where enemies are replaced whenever you down a foe, which can really mess with your strategy if you're not prepared for the new waves of bad guys. Something else that I love is having Maki fight by your side. Just like in the main story, he'll do 6 damage to the first enemy in line, and this just helps to help you feel how strong this character really is. Couple this with a unique combat situation with a pretty scenic atmosphere and incredible rewards upon completion, and this locks in as my second favorite side quest in the game. Number 1, Leaf's Request. By far my favorite quest in Bug Fables is the search for Leaf's hidden truth. From the very beginning of the game when you meet Leaf, you're instantly hooked because you know there is something mysterious and different about this character. For one, Leaf talks in third person, constantly referring to himself as us, but in addition to that, he is able to speak the ancient roach language and perform ice magic. Needless to say, my interest peaked upon encountering Leaf's family in Ant Kingdom City, and at the first possible chance I had, I investigated Snakemouth Den's upper path. Not only is this by far the longest optional mission in the game, it's certainly the most fleshed out. Leaf learns a new ability, you're introduced to new monster variations, and ultimately you learn the tragic story of Leaf's past. It's a conflict that's not easy to comprehend, as Leaf discovers that he's not exactly Leaf, but a failed cordyceps project that was tossed away and essentially has taken over Leaf's personality and body. On top of having to contend with the knowledge that his queen and most of those he knew before he was captured by the spider are gone, Leaf now has an internal crisis to deal with as well. However, one of the more heartwarming moments in the game comes when V and Kabu accept Leaf regardless, leading Leaf to accept his new reality and to make the decision to finally see his family. This was satisfying on so many levels, from the aesthetic of the lab, to the music, to the showdown with Zamoth, and of course the memorable dialogue between Leaf and his friends, which is why, in my opinion, it's the best side mission in Bug Fables. So that does it for my top 5 Bug Fables side quest list. What did you guys think? Do you agree? If not, leave your comments in the section below, because there were almost 50 of these side quests in the game to choose from, so if you have some different favorites, I'd love to hear them. And if you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a like and subscribing, and stay tuned for more Bug Fables videos.